Brothers and sisters, today we have a kind of a double celebration in a way, because we're on the cusp of the Triodium, the cusp of the Great Fast, just before we begin the Triodian cycle. And as we're climbing a ladder toward the Great Lent, today we celebrate both Zaccaeus and the Canaanite woman. We usually, if we have one more Sunday before the Triodium begins, we would read the reading for the Canaanite woman. And I think both of them are worth mentioning because, like Zaccaeus, we're all spiritually short in stature. We all are too short, too small to see sometimes. We need to find our own sycamore tree to climb up. Sometimes I think that the Canaanite woman gives us the example of what sycamore tree we should climb, because she came to our Lord Jesus Christ as an outcast, as an outsider, not as a Jew, not as a Hebrew, but as a Canaanite, a foreigner. She asked our Lord Jesus Christ on behalf of her daughter. If you'll remember, our Lord Jesus Christ sounds very insulting to her. He says it's not fit that the dogs, to feed the bread of the children to the dogs. But he said that because he was going to make a great revelation to us. Because she answered, "Yea, Lord, and even the dogs eat of the crumbs from the master's table." She was willing to endure every humiliation, every insult, because of her love for her daughter. "Yea, Lord, but the dogs eat of the crumbs from the master's table. O woman, great is thy faith. Be it unto thee as you desire." Her faith was born of love and hope. A totally unselfish love for her daughter. And the hope that Jesus Christ would have compassion and look down upon her, even though she was a foreigner, and heal her daughter. Why did our Lord Jesus Christ say it's not meet to take the children's bread and feed it to the dogs? Because he knew how the woman would respond anyway. And he knew that it would be a great example of faith, even to the Jews. That it was a faith motivated by love. And that's how our faith has to be motivated. Let it never be motivated by fear. Let it never be motivated by some kind of terror. Let our faith be always, let the sycamore tree that we climb up in to see Jesus who he is, be an unselfish love. Then we can truly see Jesus who he is. But only with unselfish love can we really see Jesus Christ who he is. So let's have a faith motivated by love. When Jesus Christ, he also say that he preaches not as one of the publicans or Pharisees, but as one with authority. We notice that Jesus Christ never had a different doctrine than the Pharisees, but that the Pharisees had become so burdened and so weighted down with all kinds of traditions of men which they tried to impose on others, and formed a stumbling block to the salvation of others. All kinds of mythologies, all kinds of special traditions that had nothing to do with the doctrine. Even as I read the Old Testament, we notice that some of the laws in the Old Testament have nothing to do with doctrines, have nothing to do with actual teachings, but how to organize society in a certain age, in a certain era, in a certain condition. So sometimes harsh laws were necessary. Otherwise, society itself was completely out of control. But the doctrine of our Lord Jesus Christ was the same as the doctrine of the Pharisees. But they had turned customs, like-minded traditions, into doctrines. And our Lord Jesus Christ was trying to cut through that to the actual teachings. We have to be careful ourselves that we not become burdened down with customs, with mythologies. But look at the clear doctrine of our Lord Jesus Christ and see that the only sycamore tree we can climb up in, from which we can see Jesus Christ, who He truly is to let our faith be motivated by love and never by fear. The tree of love is the sycamore tree for all who wish to truly see Christ, who He is. The sycamore tree of unselfish love. There's no other way we can climb up to see Jesus Christ as He really is. So let's take both of these feasts into our hearts and understand that in our spiritual stature, which is low, we have to climb up a little higher in order to see who Jesus Christ really is. That the sycamore tree has to be unselfish love. Blessed is our God, always now and ever trades his faith. Amen.